I'm Felicia and I like scary movies, and I am back from a small hiatus. I haven't filmed a video since the last time I sat down and filmed was October 30th. Last time I posted was the 31st. Today is November 10th. So I took a sizable break for me, and it was really nice. I took a full break off of looking at my analytics, from posting videos, from all social media. I deleted all the apps off my phone, and it was a nice break. My brain really needed it, and I really think I'm gonna try to do it more often. Not necessarily video breaks, but I do want to take some social media breaks here and there. It was very good for me, I think. But I'm back and I missed you guys. Oh my god. It was so exciting when I finally got to look at my comments and answer you guys. I was like, oh my god, hi, is everyone okay? What's going on? So let me know in the comments how you've been this week. If anything new has happened with you specifically, if you've seen any movies you really liked and want me to know about, etc., etc. Today, we're talking about Eli. So I don't know if this movie has been over talked about or under talked about, but it's what I watched. So Eli is a Netflix horror film. The things I heard about it from the internet were mostly super shocking, twist ending, scariest creepy movie ever. And I'm like, I feel like that's every single Netflix horror film that comes out, so I'm not really relying on that anymore. But for the poster, which looks like this, and the name Eli, in my head, when I was first going in, I'm thinking satanic kid movie. That's what it looks like to me. When I think Eli, I think very biblical. That's sort of like that name for me. The color scheme of the poster, I just was like, this is an evil kid movie. So that's what it seems to be. And then when I went in and started watching it, and first of all, this was also the first horror movie I had seen in over a week, which was very refreshing to take a break and then come back, because I felt so excited to watch one, versus sometimes, and not all the time, but sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm just watching this to review it, which is not really how I like to watch a movie. I like to be like, I'm so excited to watch this movie and also I'm reviewing it, if that makes sense. So this one I was like, ooh, I've been hearing a little about this, can't wait to watch it. And so I sit on my couch and I watched literally in the morning. I watched it at like 10 a.m. or something. And it was not what I expected at all. So this is gonna be a spoiler review, by the way. I'll make sure to put that in the title of this video. But the things I want to talk about in this movie, I would consider to be spoilers. So if you want to take a break from me and go watch it, that's chill. If you've already seen it or you just don't care, here we go. So let's get some basics out of the way. Sorry, this is rambly. I feel like because I haven't filmed in a while, I'm like, I don't know how to talk in normal film sentences anymore, but we're doing our best. Okay, director, Ciarán Foy, or I'm thinking Foy. He has directed some stuff. Let's find out what. Oh, he directed an episode of Haunting of Hill House. Wait, what? Oh, he was the only... So it looks like, according to IMDb, I did not know this, it says here Mike Flanagan directed 11 episodes of Haunting of Hill House, and Ciarán Foy directed 1. That's very interesting. He directed Sinister 2. I'm just trying to say the things I've heard of. A movie called Citadel, which I don't know that one. Anyways, okay, so, and then it was written by, we have 3 credits on here. We have David Churchirio, and I think this is also a story by him. I think I remember that from the credits. Also written by Ian Goldberg and Richard Naying. So this movie starts out with a family, a trio. We have Eli, the son, of course, and his mother Rose, his father Paul. And Eli has some sort of bad condition. He basically is allergic to the entire world and is, in a very much darker way, the Bubble Boy. If anyone saw Bubble Boy from 2001, please let me know in the comments. And if you haven't, it's really okay. But his parents are trying to take him to a new facility that is doing some experimental treatments that they think will help their son's condition. Eli is played by Charlie Shotwell. He's a great little actor. He was also in Captain Fantastic, which is a really good movie if you haven't seen it. He does a wonderful job. The mother, Rose, is played by Kelly Riley, who seemed so deeply familiar to me. But when I was looking at her IMDb, I wasn't really sure what I was remembering her from. I don't know what it was, but she just looked so familiar. I'll try to figure it out another time and not on camera. And then we have the father, Paul, who's played by the actor with the funniest name I can possibly imagine, which is Max Martini. Why is that so funny? Max Martini? That's crazy. That's like in like 7th grade when you were in Spanish class and they had to give you a Spanish name. Mine was Margarita. But his is Martini. And yes, I do already have a Spanish name and then got an additional Spanish name in 7th grade Spanish class. What are we talking about? Okay, so the mother in this, she's like very sweet, very nurturing, loving, love. And then the father is very jagged and tough and more tough love, hardened sort of character. And they take Eli, and this is where I started to get confused in this movie, and not in a bad way, just not in not what I expected. So when they're traveling him from the bubble boy situation into the car, they put him in this not spacesuit, because that's not what it is, but like one of those suits, I'm thinking Breaking Bad, just so any contaminant outside can't get inside. It's that kind of thing. And so it's interesting because we have this movie that I'm thinking is like a satanic kid movie, and you have this kid that's sort of looking very sci-fi-esque in coming out in that way. With a medical condition, it's like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And so they get to the facility, and it is this old, I will even say like Haunting of Hill House-esque feeling a house that looks super haunted, and has a staff of doctors there, including Dr. Horn, played by Lily Taylor, who most of us here on the Girly Gore channel know from The Conjuring, and she's an excellent actress. And she does such a good job in this movie, and she has something about her. I was trying to think about what the quality is called, but I'll try to explain it with food. So she looks like someone, like a lovely motherly figure that would make you a lot of casseroles. Like she's got one of those faces where she's like serving you food, like she loves you so much. But I feel like it's like she's also in the movie, they describe her as shifty, and they say that a couple times, and that is what the quality of this actress has going on, where it's like she is making you casseroles, but like 1 out of every 10 times she's probably put cyanide in the casserole. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibes I get from her, but in a good way. Okay, so we're at the spooky house, and this is where I start to realize that this is a genre blended film where we have a lot of different horror subgenres sort of going on and working together. And the 3 ones I sort of pulled out, once again, this is a spoiler review, so spoiling stuff. We have sort of one category, we've got sort of the medical horror things going on. He's got this disease, there's parts of this house slash facility that are very sterile and metal and white walls and lots of weird machinery and like in that sort of way, which is always very scary to me in movies. And then we have the ghost aspect of the movie. Eli at a certain point starts seeing a lot of ghosts in the house at night, trying to tell him things, trying to get him to do different things. And so it's like we have the medical side, then we have this ghost story going on, and then we have what ends up happening towards the end of the movie, which is what I thought from the beginning, the sort of satanic, biblical, other, you know, devil horror film thing going on. So it's like you have these 3 different types of movies that are typically more standing on their own, all working together in this one movie. And at times I wondered if it was working, and I wondered if it was a little confusing. But by the end, I really liked it, and I'll tell you why. Because I think if this movie had tried to stick with any one of those 3 things, it wouldn't have been able to stand up by itself. But this movie definitely kept me guessing. Like, it kept me on my toes. I didn't know where we were going at any given time. And I don't even just mean with plot. I mean with, like, aesthetic. Like, I was like, oh, is this like one of the medical moments where he's like going through her files, or is he like seeing ghosts in the back of his bedroom mirror? Like, it's like those things feel very different. And so that was sort of fun for me. And the other thing we have going on is that all the characters in this movie you're never quite sure who is the evil, if you will. So there are times in the movie where all Eli, the mother, the father, Dr. Horn, the nurses, I also cannot forget to mention, yes, Sadie Sink, who you will of course know from Stranger Things, plays a little girl named Haley, who is coming up to the house and talking to Eli at various times throughout the film. It seems to sort of be this like guide character, but you don't know anything about her. Like there's a point in which Eli even asks her if she's a ghost because he can't, it's hard for him to tell anymore like what's going on. So as an audience member, it's like you're always trying to figure out like who is doing the wrong here, like who is doing the wrong, and then the characters are having that same exact thing going on where they're trying to figure out everyone's intentions, and if everyone has the same intentions, like are people ultimately trying to heal Eli, or do people have more sinister plans? I also think the movie did a good job keeping us, I was gonna say dumb, but I'll say not in the know. Like it felt like at any given time in the movie, we only knew as much as Eli knew. Versus the parents or the doctors. Like it really felt we were with Eli, which I felt was helpful in multiple ways, because there's a point in which Eli is running around this house trying to figure out like what the ghosts are trying to tell him, figure out what Dr. Horn's real plans are, trying to figure out if his parents are on his side or not, like trying to figure all these things out. And as an audience member, like I really didn't know. I was like, are they trying to help Eli or are they trying to kill him for some reason I don't understand? And so I thought they did a really good job like keeping me with the action, and I felt like I wasn't like overly guessing what was going on. And then what happens by the end, once again, this is a spoiler review, and we find out that the mother, which we had heard earlier on that she had been somehow unfaithful, but we didn't exactly hear how or why. But she had been unfaithful in a very different way. She had been praying to God, trying to get pregnant, wanted a baby so badly. God did not answer, so she turned to the devil and prayed for a son, and the devil did deliver. But the son was, of course, fathered by the devil himself. So he is, you know, Eli is the Antichrist. He is the devil's son. And the devil has many children in this movie that this facility is trying to basically get rid of, and the facility's true intention is to get the devil out of the child through basically a very medical version of an exorcism. And what ultimately keeps happening is they end up killing the child. At the end, the child does not survive. And so Eli is finding that they're doing all these treatments that are making these kids die. And for him, he thinks it's because they have this crazy like allergy to the world, but it's actually like that the disease is within him, and that is the devil. And so it's this crazy thing because you're looking at something from such a medical perspective for the entire movie, and then you start getting some of this religious imagery and this sort of like ancient feeling iconography and things like that. And ultimately, like, why the parents brought this kid to this facility was for an exorcism. But it's like, what? Like, it really, that really surprised me, because even though I knew this was gonna be some sort of devil satanic related horror film, I did not assume that it would play out in the way that it did. And I thought it was cool. Like, honestly, I really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed the ending of the movie. He does end up killing the doctors and his father, but Eli lets his mother live because he knows that she loves him so much, and she does. And so the movie ends with Eli and spoiler number 35 million. Haley, played by Sadie Sink, is a child of the devil herself. And so them and then the mother are driving off to go meet Daddy. And I just loved that. I thought it was such a satisfying ending that all these people that I didn't really like that much ended up dying. The mother got to live, because the whole time it's like, the mom, you could tell there's so much love in her that you really didn't want Eli to kill her off at the end, and he doesn't, and I appreciated that. And Eli, because you're on his side the whole time, he is our protagonist, he's who we're following, we want him to survive and to triumph somehow. And it just happens so that at the end we find out he's the devil's son, but he still triumphs. And so at the end, it's this, you're still cheering for him even though you find out he's evil. It's like, yes, he's evil, but he's who we're with. And I thought that was very well done. And I think that's it for today, people. I've had such a great time filming today. I'm excited to film another video. But if you haven't yet, please do subscribe, like this video, comment down below if you've seen Eli or are planning on watching it. And I will see you in my next video. Have a nice screen. Bye.